What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and this video, I want to talk about the channel. 10 years of doing this. A couple different anniversaries, of course. There's the date that I officially started the channel, and then the first day I ever uploaded. I believe the upload date was March 13th, and the day I started the channel was March 7th. 10 years ago. I've been counting down to this for the last, 1 year. When I thought about 9 years, I said, oh my God, next year's, of course, obviously 10. It's been quite an incredible ride for more reasons that I'm honestly even ready to discuss. One day we'll do like a tell-all type situation, but let me just tell you, okay, from everything I'm about to say, there's also even more that this channel has given me and just has been truly, truly incredible. So here's to 10 years to at least start this, and we'll kind of go through a couple of things. But here's to 10 years, and here's to hopefully 10 more. YouTube is a very volatile place. It has not been the same across all of these 10 years, and I don't expect it to be the same over the next 10. But health willing and internet willing and world willing, I'm absolutely planning on being here. We got the next generation of consoles. We have more Scream movies, more entertainment to talk about. I'm sure I will do my best to be here 10 years from now and be just a little bit older, in that time. So, my God. Well, let me just start. I still have, in case people are ever curious, I still have the very first video that I ever did on this channel with a very close friend of mine in Nick. I have a video of playing City Skylines, and I always kind of mention it. City Skylines is what actually started it. It's not why I started the channel in terms of that origin point. It was actually, I think I've maybe said this before, it's actually kind of funny. The channel kind of funny, which I'm not really a big fan of any of them now, but I was back then. Podcast Beyond, of course, when they were still at IGN, Greg and Colin. And in fact, I took the "What's Up, Everybody" from Greg Miller. That is his, kind of main thing, at least to me. And I just stole that and just kind of rolled with it. But they really got me into it. I remember was at work as a part-time job, and I said, hey, I want to just create a podcast where I talk about anything. And that's kind of how it started. Like I said, these 10 years have been just very different. And I say every little while, like, I don't really think I started until like X time. I mean, in all reality, I feel like where we're at now, we did not really achieve this until maybe 2020, actually around that time, around where the world kind of experienced some stuff, 2020, 2021. I think from 2015 through that was just very, very much experimentation. Important. It was definitely important to do it. I probably wish I had a do-over on that stuff. I feel like I could have been bigger. I feel like it would have gone differently if I planned it out a little bit different. But I was pretty young. Maybe I should have also started sooner, but I think I started at the right age where I wasn't a complete idiot with, what I said and stuff like that. But definitely different eras, starting more as just kind of doing literally whatever. I mean, I would talk about music. I review Taylor Swift stuff, Smashing Pumpkin stuff. We would do our randomized kind of podcast videos and talk about movies, talk about games. That was still there. City Skylines was the very first video. The very first game that I literally live streamed, and the live stream would then turn into videos, was actually Life is Strange. So, it's another reason on top of many why Life is Strange will always be so important to me. That was a big starting point. Not that it did anything. I mean, I think they had like 6 views, and that's where, I've said this story maybe here and there before. Like, the channel was just so slow, for the first 2 to 3 years. It was just, you would get like 5 views a video because I had no idea what I was doing, and I also wanted to do too much stuff. And too much stuff while also not really doing anything at all. Like, I really didn't talk about games in the same way that I do now. Again, it took me time, and then of course, maybe I've said this before too, or maybe you've been around since this time. Heavily, I would heavily doubt it, but some people, Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean is really where the channel, kicked off, and I think really hit like the next level. I know like Horizon stuff early on, Witcher 3 stuff early on helped the channel, but I didn't get to 1,000 subscribers until 2017, until Horizon came out is when I got 1,000 subscribers. And then Pirates really took us to the next level, did some Star Wars stuff, did some Avengers stuff, and just over time kind of built it. But really, I feel very good about like where I'm at and where the channel is at. Obviously, like would I like more views, would I like the sub count to be higher? Yeah, there's some things I would like to be improved, but I'm really at a point in my life and at a point of understanding where I'm at and what YouTube is just not going to allow versus allow. Look, it's a funny world out there and it's a funny YouTube, and channels like mine just are not going to hit and just skyrocket up there. Again, if I started the channel maybe 2-3 years before I did and I actually focused, things could have changed, but me jumping around with styles and jumping around with different like covering different things, I'm very happy with, I'm very content with, and I think there's still opportunities to grow and whatnot. I expect to continue to grow, but I'm not here expecting, oh, we're gonna suddenly get millions upon millions of subs or views or whatever. YouTube does not favor those that talk about 50 different games and then throws in a Scream video and throws in this or that. It just doesn't do that. So I'm willing to continue it just because I like it. And I've said it before, if I were to be a channel that would cover one thing, I would stop. I would legitimately, if I was forced into that, I would stop just because I'm too scatterbrained in general, but I also just like too much stuff. I think that's a passion of mine. I think that's a strength of mine that I can relate with different fandoms. I can talk about different things. I'm not a one-trick pony, in that way. So that's never going to change. It's really why I've started the other stuff, right? It's why Back to the Past exists, where I can focus on old games and, retrospectives and trophy hunts and stuff like that. That's why that channel exists. Versus this one, which I've definitely toned down. Like, I don't do music anymore. I don't do movies, really, even besides Scream and like Pirates of the Caribbean. That's really it. Anything else is pushed off. So I have definitely narrowed what this channel is, and I do think that was for the better. And like I said, just different eras. I mean, we've gone through different casts of people used to be on the channel and all that stuff, but everything had its purpose, and everything needed to kind of happen, I feel, to get us to the point that we're at now. Eventually we're going to hit 100K, and I think that's going to be a really special moment, but 10 years is too. I can remember doing it. I can remember thinking of the idea and just really being, and I'll say this, and maybe this doesn't mean much to people watching, but it means something to me. I've never really lost like the spark, and maybe that does show, and I hope it does, considering I make like 100+ videos a month and stuff. I think in that way it shows, but when I started this channel, it just like took over. And, obviously you have to think about other things in your life. I have a family and all that jazz. But when I started it, I had that thought, and I still have that thought now. When I don't know, and I don't look at it, I guess a couple things. I don't really look at it as a job. Lord knows I'm not really being paid for it as a job anymore as much as I used to. So it definitely has become, it always was in my heart, a hobby. It was always something that just had infinite passion from me. And again, hopefully that shows. I think some people that don't really know me, some people that don't really watch this stuff, can sometimes let me, I've gotten comments, and I don't really take almost any negative comment seriously, but you'll have people that say, hey, it seems like you're milking like 50, because you cover 50 different things, you're trying to milk those 50 different things. And I really think, I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, that's just me. That's just what I want to talk about. I want to be a part of those discussions. I want to say something about 50 different games. Exactly as I just said a few minutes ago, I would not do this if I was only going to cover like one or two things. I would stop. So hopefully that comes through. I think it does. I think if you watch long enough, you say, you might not be into everything, but you can say, okay, he clearly cares. He clearly has a passion for, and that's, again, that goes back to what I was just saying. Like, from the beginning, I was like, my entire life was taken up by it, and any wakings. Now, I will say that's kind of dropped a little bit. Every waking second, I would think about something for the channel, and I just didn't have the talent. I still don't have the talent for the stuff I was thinking about, 10 years ago. So that was such a big thing then. And of course, it just took so long because I was so stuck in certain ways and wanting to try so many different things. But you know what? It still has that kind of grasp on me where I still think about it all the time, and I still have ideas that, again, some of which I cannot actually come up with because I'm just not talented enough in that way. But I'm always, well, not always, not as much, but I'm a lot of the time still thinking about the channel, still thinking about ideas. I think I found a very good blend because people ask me, like, I play a lot of games, obviously, and I play games with videos in mind, but I'm also, I think I've always naturally, for some reason, been very good at being able to separate them while also combining them at the same times. Meaning, a new game comes out, I can play it, like Rebirth, Final Fantasy Rebirth last year, right? That's my game of the year. That's a game that like really hit me, and like I was thinking about that game for no joke like a month after I beat it every day. So like that's a game that I could experience in the moment, take it in, love it, appreciate it for what it was, and just play it as a gamer, just a casual like hobby type thing. But then also at the same time, be taking mental notes and saying, okay, I want to talk about this. I want to make character videos on Aerith and Cloud, and let's talk about the ending, and let's really focus on the story. So I was really able to do that, and I generally do that for pretty much anything I do. And again, I think it just, hopefully my actions, I do think speak louder than my words. I'm always pretty consistent in what I say, but I do think what I do kind of backs the stuff up, where I feel I'm proud of myself in that way, that I'm able to do this largely, I think, as a hobby and as a passion type thing, but with no plans to cancel it or stop it or anything like that anytime soon. And I also just feel good with a lot of the stuff. Again, it's not that everything's perfect. It's not that nothing can be improved upon. Many things can, and it's why I try to do spin-off channels and try to work at different things. I think my thumbnails, my wife does the Back to the Past ones, that's why they're so much better, but I think just my thumbnails have also gotten a lot better. So I've made small improvements here and there, but obviously there's more to go. And I think it's kind of a mix. Like I remember it, so a mix in terms of like, has it gone by fast or slow? Kind of both, because like it feels like so long ago, but it also doesn't. A lot's happened in those 10 years, and a lot's changed. And again, I think things that kind of affect the time, again, is like there's been so many different eras, again, with like casts of people on the channel, or what we were specializing in and talking about and stuff. What the channel is literally right now, I don't really think got going until 2020, and then kind of perfected in the way that I really like figured it out. Not necessarily like it became perfect, but really maybe 2021. So we've only been at this not that long, but obviously the history of the channel and what it means to me, and again, what it's given me, friendships, people, those that know, right? The people that I've met, different people in different communities that I've talked to, I've met a fair amount of, for being as antisocial, which I am, it might not show because of how much I talk and can't shut up, and even have people, on the channel. That's kind of the blend too, because I'm not really a people person. I don't like talking to strangers. I get pretty shy and kind of closed off. And yet, I've met, whether it's the Hogwarts group or the Scream group, or just kind of random off people that I talk to that I want to do videos and streams with, that were kind of waiting for the right time. I've met a lot of people, and it feels good, because I don't think, in fact, I know I would not have done that if it wasn't for this kind of stuff. So here's to 10 years. Again, I certainly plan on being here 10 more, but let's focus on maybe like the 11-year birthday, the 15-year birthday, but 10 years is quite the achievement, I think, personally. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting, obviously, for as long as you have been, or if it's been a day or two, thank you as well. Let me know what you think. Make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.